So my name is Martin Schibbye. I'm editor-in-chief at Blankspot, and I've been working as a foreign correspondent for different Swedish magazines since I graduated the School of Journalism. I started off as a freelancer, and as a freelancer your role is kind of to focus on the forgotten conflicts. You can't go where everyone else goes. You can't go to the major wars or the major conflicts or the major elections. You have to choose the forgotten wars and the forgotten conflicts and people who are not having their stories told in media. And started doing that, I early on got a sense of what it means for people to tell their story, both in a healing way, but it also is a way of how to say, I mean, if you talk to human rights defenders in authoritarian countries or people who have been imprisoned for their journalism, for them telling their story and having their name published in international newspapers, it gives them a certain way of defense. I mean, the world is watching and the state will hesitate maybe once or twice before doing anything against them. So, I mean, early on I felt that journalism matters and journalism can really play this vital role. Then on the other hand, I always felt that I shouldn't be an activist. That's also important to stay within the boundaries of journalism. My job is to go there, collect the facts, present them, and then let the readers, listeners, reviewers make up their decision about who's right, who's wrong, what to do. I think that's also one important aspect of staying safe in the field, not to become kind of the spokesperson for either side in a conflict or in a sensitive topic, but to do your job, tell the story, and then let politicians or diplomats or activists solve the issue or take it further. That's not my job to do. I mean, I had a teacher. She was not a teacher and I was not a student, but it was a teacher-student situation. While I was imprisoned in Ethiopia, in the neighboring cell, there was a female journalist called Lemo. And you sat in the cell for 23 hours and 50 minutes a day, but then you had 5 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon where you could go to the toilet. And when she had her time outside her cell, she used to leave small letters in a matchbox to me in the toilet. And I remember on her first letter she wrote that when you read this, destroy the letter. But she explained that her name was Lemo, that she was a journalist, that she loved to write, she loved the truth, she loved her country, and that's why she became a journalist. And she was so proud of that decision and told me about the articles she had written that had been critical of the regime, and that's why she was jailed and accused of terrorism. So every day I found these letters from her explaining what journalism meant to her, what she thought was important in terms of working as a journalist. And so she was like my teacher, and that small toilet was like a small university. And I always looked forward to reading her letters. And she, in one of the letters, she wrote that if you are released before me, please tell the world that I'm not a terrorist, but a journalist working for the truth. And I mean, those words have also been something that I carried with me ever since. To bring them along, I'd say, is the best way to engage others in the journalism that I do. Not just present students with, this is a finished story, read this. I try to bring them along from that. I pack my bag, do my initial research, getting on the plane, getting off the plane, checking in at the first hotel. I mean, bring them behind the scenes, so to speak, so that they can understand how journalism is produced. And I think by doing that, they also understand the value of journalism and also the difference between journalism and everything else that's out there online, because they can see the ingredients, is how it was made. And I think that is really important to have them defend journalism at the end of the day. So once the piece is published and finished, I hope that the students that have followed the process will also feel proud and that they were also part of this process and could add their knowledge along the way. So, I mean, really the key question to get people engaged in journalism is to be transparent and climb down from the ivory tower as a reporter and just tell them about how you do your work, how journalism is produced.